Hi, Simon here from Laney Amps. We're here at NAMM 2015, and I'd just like to take the time to talk you through some of the new products that we've launched here at the show. The first one, and this is one that we're really excited about, this is the new Ironheart IRT Pulse. And basically what this is, it's a tube-loaded USB preamp for guitar players. So what it does is it takes the technology that we launched a couple of years ago in the Ironheart Studio, but packages it into a really small, convenient kind of desktop package that allows the player just to plug the guitar straight in, and then via the USB connection, connect to your DAW, whatever recording package you're using, and basically get real tube tone in a digital environment. So what I'd like to do now is, if my esteemed colleague, Mr. Paul Glover, he'll quickly give you a couple of sound samples. So all you're hearing there is the IRT Pulse. It's basically connected to his Mac via a USB cable, but the only thing we're using Logic for is to add some delays. All the tones, all the cabinet sounds you heard were coming directly from the IRT Pulse. It comes with an onboard cabinet emulation. As I said, it comes with a USB out. It also comes with a standard out. So because it's cabinet emulated, you can take that standard output and feed it straight into a PA system. So it really is kind of it's the ultimate in portable gig rigs. You can use it on a pedal board. So if you plug it into the front end of the amp, then it behaves exactly like a really high-end boost pedal. There's a bypass facility which allows you to connect an FS1 foot switch or a latching foot switch to it, so you can switch it in and out of your signal path. So basically, it comes with everything you need. There are two modes. Paul was demonstrating it there in the hot mode. There is actually a clean mode as well. So if you disconnect the hot mode, it gives you a whole range of different clean sounds. So there you go. That is the IRT Pulse, which is new for NAMM 2015. It really is the ultimate in portable gig rigs. This is the Lionheart L5 Studio. It's the same preamp configuration as you've come to expect from the Lionheart range. It's 5 watts, single-ended parallel Class A output, but the cool thing is on the back. What we've done with this is we've married Lionheart vintage tone with the kind of modern connectivity that we've kind of previewed with the Ironheart Studio and the Ironheart Pulse products. What you have here is a vintage amplifier which has a USB in-out. It has a DI with cabinet emulation, so you can go straight into the PA rather than having to mic your heads. It comes with a standard effects loop, and it also has the ability to run at 5 watts or a dramatically reduced output of down to half a watt. So this basically gives you the option of recording real kind of cool vintage tones, but at very, very low levels, or completely silently if you choose to. It's partnered with a very cute looking cab, which is called the LT112, which is basically a single 12 Lionheart cab loaded with a Celestion G12 anniversary. And I'd just like to show you one of the new bass amps that we've launched here at the show. This is the Nexus Studio Live. It's a new model in the Nexus range, and it's basically a 2x500 watt kind of studio stroke live situated amp. It's a very, very straightforward setup. It's got a lot of different flexibility, a lot of different options that bass players can use. One of the things that we're quite stoked about is the fact that we put some bass dedicated effects. So you have, as you can see on the top row, you have space, interval, and focus. Now, what they allow you to do, space allows you to put on some kind of reverbs and some delays and reverbs and choruses. Interval applies an interval, which you can decide whether that is a fifth above or an octave above and an octave below, and then a focus control allows you to decide whereabouts across the bass frequency spectrum that is focused. So, you know, for example, putting an interval of fifths on and winding the focus all the way to the right gives it a real kind of bass synthy effect. It's really, really light. It's 5.5 pounds. Sorry, 5.5 kilograms. And then round the back, this is the clever bit as well. What you've kind of come to expect from new Laney products is this whole level of connectivity that you have on the back. You have a very professional spec DI. You have a USB in-out with the ability to reamp your original signal. Phones, aux, effects loops, tuner, and then a remote switch. It's 2 by 500 watts. And each of the speak-on connectors accesses one of these power amp sections. So you have the ability to run, for example, a master and a slave rig. One of the things I forgot to mention around the front, it has two really unique features. It has a tilt and a touch. Now, a tilt is a very, very useful kind of seesaw EQ curve. So if you basically dial it anti-clockwise, then you're increasing the top end whilst at the same time reducing the bottom end, and vice versa if you turn it clockwise, anti-clockwise. And what that basically allows you to do is very, very quickly tune your bass into whatever environment you're playing in. You know, if you want a little bit more bottom end, then you obviously just dial that in, or if you're playing a bright venue and you dial a bit of the top end out. Or if you want, for example, a particularly deep kind of dubstep bass, you dial it all the way to the bottom and you get just masses and masses of low end power. Touch. The Nexus Studio Live has a ECC83 tube, but in the output section. And what Touch allows you to do is bring more of this tube characteristics to the way the amplifier performs, because tubes have a particular characteristic when you apply them into bass amps, and it makes it feel very, very organic. So Touch allows you to dial more or less of the onboard tube in. Comes with a range of cabinets, a 210, a single 15, which are both very, very small compact cabinets, and then a 410. All the cabinets are fitted with neodymium drivers, which means they're very, very light, and finished in our proprietary Tough Stuff. Now, Tough Stuff is a very, very roadworthy, very, very strong finishing material, which it protects the cabs and gives us many, many years of road life. And that's the Nexus Studio Live from Laney here at NAMM 2015.